Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. My name is R.Joshua. I'm the founder of Homeless Advocates for Christ, and I work with the homeless lot in Anaheim. For those of you that don't know, for since 2013, basically. But I just have a couple concerns. Lieutenant Craig Friesen came to the park yesterday, actually, and I had a talk with him as well as some of the other homeless. And considering the Martin case, the Boise case situation, from what I understand from the ruling, the homeless are supposed to be allowed to basically be in the public spaces with their property and all that until there's more shelter provided for everybody. And as far as all the homeless, so they're supposed to make another 400 beds by December or whatever, but that hasn't happened yet, of course. So, but I was trying to see, Lieutenant, are the homeless allowed to safely sleep on the sidewalks? But he wouldn't make any commitment to allow for the homeless to safely sleep on the sidewalks. He said, well, we've got to get back to you on that, and he wants to have a future meeting. But the homeless kind of need to know what's legal and what isn't, and so I don't know if you can maybe kind of push for that to get exact guidelines, and make it very public, and maybe even have like some kind of sheet that explains all that for the homeless so they know where they can sleep at and all that. Be really appreciated. And there's also some other issues. A woman at La Palma Park told me yesterday, actually, we were out there feeding the homeless out there, and said that the property that she had was taken from her while she was with her property. Some of her property was taken. Maybe because an officer said, well, you have too much stuff, or I don't know exactly what it was, but I'll try to get more information regarding exactly all that. But things like that have been happening, or rumors of things like that, and also recently, sometimes we get rumors of crackdowns on the homeless, or the police are planning to crack down on the homeless. They're threatening the homeless. They're going to crack down on them. And the thing is, if they have a right to be in a public space, a park, whatever, why are they cracking down on that? I can understand the criminal activity, but as far as just having your property in a public space, that I don't think should be necessarily cracked down on, until they can get more housing for people. And one other concern, there's also some of the property that was at the storage center for code enforcement. The storage center got broken into. I don't know if all you knew that or not. And so some of the homeless lost their property, and one woman lost her ID and all kinds of different things like that. So, what's going to be done to make sure that those things are replaced for the people that lose their property in that way? Kind of important. And one last thing, I'm kind of concerned also just in general regarding this no property rule. They have the anti-camping, anti-storage property rule is typically selectively enforced. You don't see people that come and have their big parties at the parks with the tables and chairs and all that being enforced upon the same way, as far as you can't have your tables and chairs when you come and take all your property or that kind of thing, or given tickets for having that property with them. So it's kind of a bigotry situation where they're just deciding, well, they're homeless, they have their property, we can ticket them, but people that aren't homeless that have property, we're not going to ticket them. And that's been happening for years. So, yeah. Oh, okay, but that's to wrap it up though. That's kind of what I wanted to share. Yeah.
Thank you. That is also a concern the board has. I think our next meeting there will be a presentation from the police on their policy.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. The camera.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Anaheim Police Review Board. Tonight I bring to you, first off, a gentleman who is a known activist to the Anaheim Police Department. His name is Time to Stand. If you ask Darren Wyatt who he is, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to give you his rap sheet, no problem. Last month he was stopped on between Ball and Cerritos on Dale Street in West Anaheim because it wasn't really a stop. There was an incident involving some Anaheim police officers in a traffic incident, and they were obstructing traffic in his view, and he expressed his First Amendment right to express his displeasurement with the traffic delay, and that escalated the situation, and the officers came over and said he was using his cell phone while driving, even though it was hands-free. Today was the court date for that ticket, and all charges, which was just one, were dismissed against him, and it was requested by the officer the rookie officer, I should say, requested the ticket to be dismissed. Now, interesting enough, the officer who originally initiated this confrontation and wanted him cited said to the rookie officer that appeared in court today, at the time of the ticket being issued, "It's okay, you know, I will go to court with you," and pretty much told him to write what he was saying down on the ticket, because it seems to me that this was his first time writing the ticket. And it was dismissed, and he said to him, "Well, I'll be there with you in court." He wasn't there in court today. So is that really backing the blue? And this ticket was retaliatory. That's why the officer dismissed it himself, because he was not hands-free. I have the body cam footage if the board would like me to email it to them, if they would like to review it themselves, or if they can get it from the Anaheim Police themselves. Either way, I can forward you that footage if you'd like to watch it for yourself. Now, what's interesting enough, you may be saying, well, how did you get body cam footage? Well, normally you have to sue the Anaheim Police Department to get body cam footage, but this way it was made through discovery because of the ticket. Now, interesting is, well, the public can't get body cam footage, but if you're an attorney and you're involved in a legal case, you can go to a website the Anaheim Police Department uses to dump their body cam footage, if you will, for storage, and pay a certain fee depending on how much video and how much how much size the video is and how long it's going to take to transfer all that. And then you'll get a copy of the body cam footage after you pay that fee. But now with the new, is it the AB bill or is it the SB bill for the body cam footage? AB. Well, now with the passage of AB 748, we're going to have to, starting the beginning of January, that's going to have to stop. We're going to have to start developing a 45-day policy, and if there is going to be charges to the body cam footage, I can understand. Public record is public record. We got to pay. You know, someone has to take that body cam footage and transfer it on a CD, USB stick, whatever way you work out in the policy, how you're going to be able to deliver that body cam footage to the public. But let's make sure it's not an unreasonable fee, and you don't have to be an attorney to access a public record. All right, that concludes my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Teresa Smith.
Good evening, Board. My name is Teresa Smith, and I'm the mother of Caesar Cruz, who was killed by Anaheim PD in 2009. I'd have more of a question than I do a comment. I've received phone calls from people in regards to certain activities, but they're not willing to go to the police department to make complaints. Do you, or are you able to receive complaints?
Yes.
So who would I forward this to? I mean, because when they call me, I mean, I don't know who, I've mentioned the police overboard to them, to a couple of people, but they don't want to come to the board. So if there's another way.
Sure, well, they can certainly email the police review board, or they can contact myself. They will facilitate processing that information. The police department will ultimately be the individuals who will be investigating that. And so in some regard, they will need to provide their information for the complaint to be looking into.
All right, that was my question. Thank you.
But Teresa, if you have the information, you can relay it, and they don't even have, if you've got the information and want to relay it to us or to them, that's another option.
Okay. Well, I did ask, because I know that someone who called me said, I don't want to go, I'm afraid. I don't know. I just wrote everything down, but I did mention he could come here. He chose not to, so I was just wondering where I could get this information.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, if you do have something written, you can hand it to us.
I'll ask their permission first before I do anything. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Art Castillo?
Good evening, everybody. Well, I have a letter given Mr. Janato in the investigation of an assault by an officer. But the thing is that I'll let him have it and then they'll read it, and then you have to understand this is other incidents, further to more harassment or police harassment and everything. So I go back really far with just being wrong place, wrong time, just seeing something and then being told, you know, quiet, shut up, be quiet. So I have a lot of, how do you say, I have a lot of witnesses that confided in me not to say anything. I'm not willing to give them out at this time, but I wanted to see what I can do. So I'm gonna hand Janaka this letter. I have copies, but I'm doing I went to a legal place to do my own research to put everything in conjugal order and legal terminology. And if so, I'll talk to Mr. Janaka first, and then if so, I'll hand you guys those documents. Just like you're having a meeting with Donna, if you had a meeting with me, I would tell you everything that I know, so that if you see what they do and what they give me versus what I have, you'll see the conflict or agree. So you guys are be privy to my information when it's time, if there is something we can do about this issue. So I'm going to hand this to Mr. Janaka, and then we'll go from there. And then whatever he requires for me to do, and then if you guys do need to know, or I will be willing to submit all the records to you guys. So I'm doing this on my own. I can ask nobody for help. I have a lot of legal friends and everything, but I'm going to do it on my own. And I'm trying to do it for, you know, because these officers, these new divisions and everything are different now. I don't blame anybody other than certain criteria that were stumped at the door. Every time I went to legal, or every time I went somewhere, I was told I didn't have no right to see my records or do anything. So it was ridiculous. I knew I had them, but I was refused services. So, and the information that I have conducts police issues. So I don't know what kind of documentations you were given or what you know. And my whole thing is to do is to close something that 42 years, I'm tired. I want to come to a closure. I want to know who I am. I want to know who I am. So we can start working on community issues together, if that's to be done. I mean, I'm trying to just be the friendly, understanding person that, you know, it's not all, it's a few, and but I did have some bump-ins with people on the staffs, so I wasn't given any guidelines, any help. So hopefully Janaka can take care of it once I handle the letter.
Just there's no information on here for you.
Yes,
Is it on there?
The chief, assistant chief, not mine, so a lot of stuff is in there. But again, it says, it leads to a lot, and it's just so much overwhelming, so I'm just trying to butt it in the head if we can, so thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Brian Kay?
Happy day. Definitely want to thank everybody for being here. This isn't like a good book. This isn't like something happy and healthy happened and we want to share it with you. This is something that really bad happened, and not just to one of us, but to a lot of us. And we want to make sure that it doesn't keep happening. You know, we love these police officers. We care about them. We want to make sure that they're safe. And Anaheim's a unique case because no one in 150 years, not a criminal, not a guest, not a citizen, has risen up and killed a police officer. That alone should carry a huge amount of weight when we have 15, maybe 20 unarmed people who've been killed by the Anaheim police. We're offering a handshake, and they've been trained to give something very different. And I want to share 99% of the officers are good, honest, hardworking officers. Matter of fact, when Craig Friesen was at one of the district meetings, he closed the meeting by admitting that he doesn't know what to do about the homeless situation. Which, admitting that you don't have an answer is the first step. It means you're looking for an answer. It means you're trying to solve an answer, trying to find the solution. Now, I'm a proud owner of Clean Termite Control, over 25 years. I have the potential to keep working for another 25 years at Clean Termite. Unfortunately, I'm scheduled to serve 90 days, it was lowered to 90 days Caltrans on October 30th. So my mental calendar doesn't work anymore. I can't think or plan or schedule anything beyond October 30th, even though I have an entire lifetime waiting for me. So I know what I need to survive, pay my bills, and to be a productive member of society. And I know that by following the law. And I want to share that with these officers. I want to shake their hands. I want to say, hey, I did some volunteer work. I helped the police department. Thank you for your work helping our community be safer and healthier. You know, there are people here who, they'll never be well. There's no pill, there's no amount of time, there's nothing that can make them whole again. But we're here trying to make sure that that doesn't happen to anyone else. You know, and again, I can't thank you all enough for coming here, for being here. Because every day you see something good, a business opens, or something positive is happening, and everybody shows up and there's a ribbon cutting and there's awards, but this is probably one of the darkest events that people have to deal with in society. And so we really, on my, and I think all the other activists and other people here, we really want to thank you and express a huge vote of appreciation. We want to thank you for the changes that have occurred. You know, like I said, I spoke with some of the officers at the district meeting. They shook my hand, they knew who I was, who I am, what I'm going through, and we had just a whole minute of happy, polite chatter, conversation. And if we had had that 5 years ago, we wouldn't have had the problems that we're dealing with today. So again, I really want to thank everybody. Happy day. I can't think past October 30th.
Thank you, Mr. Kay. Mr. Dwayne Roberts?
Good evening, my name is Dwayne Roberts. I live at 2276 Colchester Drive. I've been a resident of West Anaheim for almost 50 years. Originally I wasn't planning to speak, but I heard Mr. Wagner mention earlier that this body plans to review the Vincent Valenzuela case at the November meeting. Although I realize much of the material that you probably will be reviewing is confidential, nevertheless, the district attorney's office did release video footage on this incident to the public a couple months ago. First, I'd like to request that not only a link to this footage be placed on the Police Review Board website for the purpose of allowing the public to look at it, but also, too, if possible, maybe a DVD or something to that effect be also set up in this room. All right. The reason for that is because I plan to point out a critical moment in the video where I'm of the opinion that if the police officers involved had been a little bit more restrained in their dealings with Mr. Valenzuela, I suspect that his death could have been avoided. Again, we will never know. But what concerns me basically is the type of de-escalation training that Anaheim police officers are getting. And I suspect that, now again, I don't know the circumstances. I don't like to comment on things that I'm not completely aware of, especially if I don't have any evidence. But I'd like to know a little bit more about the type of de-escalating training officers are getting. And I suspect that possibly if those officers had received that training, this death could have been avoided. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. To your three questions, can you ask Mr. Dominic to see about whether they need
We can try and look into the next steps.
and whether the link would be,
We can discuss that and close when we review the tape.
and then maybe we can ask people in our group to look into, ask for de-escalation training. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments?
Just to thank Chief Harley for the update.
Thank you.
And Deputy Chief.
If there are no more comments, we will close the public meeting. And at this time, I'd like to turn the time over to Ms. Bogdanovich for a report on the NACO conference.
Thank you, Chair Wolfram. Just a brief update, there were two board members that attended the
Well, working on trying to protect the rights of the people. So please share the video. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook, and pray that the rights of all people are protected in Anaheim and all over our country. just pray for God to give us wisdom and more laborers too to help in this work to keep police accountable and to protect the rights of citizens, homeless or not. And thankfully, we get more people involved, but we always use more. So thanks so much for your prayers and support. Again, do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook and share the video, and may God bless you as you seek for His kingdom always. Bye-bye.